We got a guy in Jaron Ennis right now who's killing everybody. Floyd is praising him, Roy Jones, everybody really.
Yeah, nah, he's nice as hell, but I'm at the point in my career, the money's right, I'll fight anybody.
Errol Spence has officially turned his attention toward Jaron Boots Ennis, sending a clear signal that he is ready for the matchup. If Boots is searching for the biggest challenge available, Spence says he is prepared to step into the ring whenever the opportunity comes. That is exactly why this potential fight has captured so much attention. Ever since his latest win, Boots has repeatedly called for the biggest names in the division, showing complete confidence that he belongs with the elite. But Errol Spence is no ordinary opponent. As a former unified champion, he built his reputation with relentless pressure-punishing body attacks, championship experience, and the determination to prove he still belongs at the top. For Spence, a fight with Boots is about much more than making another appearance. It is his chance to remind the boxing world that one setback does not erase years of dominance. For Boots, it represents another major test against a respected champion whose name still carries enormous weight. Now both men face the spotlight. Boots says he wants the toughest challenges available, and Spence appears willing to answer that call. If this matchup becomes reality, it could reveal exactly where each fighter stands today.
The fans would rather see me fight Errol Spence, or me fight Bud, or me fight Keith.
When Boots was asked about facing either Errol Spence or Terence Crawford, his answer showed exactly how confident he is at this point in his career. He made it clear that no elite name intimidates him. Whether the opponent is Spence or Crawford, he believes he has what it takes to come away victorious. From his perspective, the opponent's reputation changes nothing. His mission is to secure the biggest fights, capture every major title, and prove beyond question that he is the top fighter in the division. More than anything else, his focus is on becoming the undisputed champion. He is not interested in chasing one high-profile event simply for attention. His goal is to collect every belt and remove all debate about who truly rules the weight class. That is why victories over fighters like Spence or Crawford would be so significant. Both are proven champions, and defeating either would bring Boots one step closer to the legacy he believes he is capable of building.
Saying that we proclaimed Boots and we gave him all these accolades too soon. He hadn't had that fight yet. We gave it.
Boots spoke respectfully about Errol Spence, but he never hesitated when explaining how he sees the matchup. In his mind, he believes he has developed into the more complete and more talented fighter. He acknowledges Spence's experience, non-stop pressure, and championship resume. Yet he feels his own speed, movement angles, and punch variety would ultimately make the difference. Boots also pointed to the work that happens long before fight night. He trains with complete dedication, stays locked in on improvement, and continues learning under the guidance of his father, Boots Ennis. To him, success is not built on talent alone. It comes from preparation, discipline, and a team that understands the long-term mission. So whenever Spence's name comes up, Boots keeps the message simple. He respects everything Errol has achieved, but fully believes his skills, preparation, and support system would allow him to leave the ring with a victory.
Errol Spence is holding up the weight division. We're trying to figure out what they gonna do, but I mean, at the end of the day, they gotta fight me, or they gotta move up, or they gotta do something, because they holding up the division. That's it. No, I feel like this is definitely the year. I will be a world champion this year, and like I said before, once I get my hands on one of those belts, it's up. All I need is to touch one, and then once I touch one, I'm gonna collect the rest, and I'm gonna go ahead and move up and do the same thing at 54. Be undisputed there too. So that's my goal. Every weight, 47, 50, 54, 60, and maybe 68.
Greg Hackett also shared his thoughts on a possible clash between Jaron Boots Ennis and Errol Spence, and he believes Boots would have the advantage. In his opinion, Ennis now possesses too many different weapons for Spence to deal with comfortably. His speed, size, ability to switch stances, sharp angles, and offensive versatility could make life extremely difficult for Errol. Even if Spence applies his trademark pressure and works the body, Greg feels Boots has the footwork and counter-punching needed to shut those attacks down. That is why he no longer views Spence as the same intimidating force he once was. While Errol remains a respected former champion with valuable experience, Boots is younger, more active, and entering his prime. Greg believes Ennis can dictate the pace, control the distance, and punish Spence every time he attempts to close the gap. In his eyes, Boots is not only prepared for this fight, but has every tool necessary to win it.
On Saturday, I'm right back in the gym on Monday, get right back to the grind, perfect myself, perfect my craft. Young, hungry, I'm great at everything. I got speed, power, defense. I can do it all. Like I always say, I'm a variety pack. I can do everything. And, you just pick your favorite chip, and I give it to you that way. The older fighters and things like that, and studying myself, looking at things that I can get better at. It's a lot of things. I can keep going. Like that's how I know I'm always ahead of these guys, because I'm never letting them get one up on me, and I'm always be.
Meanwhile, Tim Tszyu has added another layer to the conversation by suggesting that Errol Spence should seriously consider retirement if things do not go well, while also expressing interest in facing Jaron Boots Ennis down the road. Tszyu does not view Spence as an unbeatable obstacle anymore. Instead, he sees a respected former champion returning with plenty to prove after losing to Terence Crawford, spending a long period away from the ring and preparing for another dangerous challenge. In Tszyu's view, this next fight could determine whether Spence still belongs among boxing's elite or whether retirement discussions become impossible to ignore.
Clearly, through his performance. And he's confident. He can punch, speed, what you want. I like it.
Do you feel like he's ready for the Terence Crawfords, the Errol Spences?
I say Spence in one more fight. I say Crawford in 2 more fights. The reason being, Spence comes with less tricks than Crawford, but I believe is also equal as being dangerous. The thing is, Spence is going to give Boots a little bit more of what he's looking for, which is for a guy to be acting tough and standing there and trying to fight with him. Spence can box, but I don't think he can keep it up all night, especially not.
At the same time, Tszyu has already shown interest in eventually sharing the ring with Jaron Boots Ennis and makes it clear he wants to stay involved in the biggest fights available in the division. Boots brings a completely different challenge with his youth, speed, sharpness and determination to become the undisputed champion. For Tszyu, those are exactly the kinds of opponents he wants. His objective is to face the very best and prove that he deserves a place among the division's elite fighters.
What he's good at is that constant pressure, constant punching, and it doesn't have to be flashy and quick and stuff like that. He knows when to throw the punch, and he keeps on going until you have to be until it's sink or swim type situation. So that's what he's good at.
Yeah, and I know, like, you always want to prepare for the best version of Errol, but there is that sense of do you think there's that sense of unknown, being like, we don't know how he's going to look at a new weight, hasn't boxed for ages? Like, is there that sense of that sense of unknown because you still don't know what sort of version of Errol you're going to get?
No, not really. I'm preparing for the best. The biggest thing for me is to test his heart. How bad does he want it? When you've been there, done that in the sport, it's sort of like, do I need to do this? Do I need to keep on going? That's what I want to test when he starts talking to himself.
Yeah. Do you think his heart, he can question, you will make him question himself in there?
Roy Jones Jr. also believes Jaron Boots Ennis would have the edge in a fight against Errol Spence. According to Roy, Boots has the perfect combination of attributes to trouble Spence at this stage of his career. His hand speed, physical size, counter punching movement and ability to constantly change angles make him extremely difficult to figure out. Against an aggressive pressure fighter like Spence, those qualities become even more valuable because Boots would not be forced to stay directly in front of him. Roy continues to respect everything Errol has achieved throughout his career, but he also knows timing plays a major role in boxing. Spence returns with questions surrounding his condition, his sharpness, and whether he is still the same fighter after the Crawford defeat. Boots, meanwhile, is active, confident, and appears to be improving with every performance. Roy believes this is exactly the kind of fight that could establish Boots as the division's next dominant star.
£4 fight the weekend just gone of Boots and Xander Zayas. I know you're focused and locked in on camp, but did you get a chance to see the fight?
I didn't watch the fight, I'll be honest. I should have, but I didn't. But I watched the highlights, and exactly what I thought, But Xander did hit him, did wobble him to a certain extent, but Boots was too classy.
Do you think you view Boots as a future opponent of you one day?
Oh, for sure.
Andre Ward has enormous respect for Jaron Boots Ennis and recognizes the talent he brings with his speed, size, confidence and ability to fight from either stance. Even so, when comparing him to Errol Spence, Ward places tremendous value on Spence's championship experience, non-stop pressure and proven mentality. Errol has already competed on the biggest stages, defeated elite opponents and mastered the art of breaking fighters down over the course of a contest. Because of that, Ward refuses to dismiss him based solely on the loss to Terence Crawford. He believes one disappointing performance should not overshadow an outstanding career. If Spence returns healthy, motivated and physically close to his best, Ward feels his pressure and bodywork could create major problems for Boots. In his opinion, Ennis may have youth and explosiveness on his side, but Spence possesses the experience and style needed to push him in ways he has not yet fully experienced. That is why Ward believes Errol has a real chance to win.
Because I've seen that happen to myself. When you get in control, your senses go down a little bit. Now it's not, oh my goodness, I got to be on point anymore. No, it's like, oh, I got it. That's over. You know, and that's what he felt like. Then wham, he got caught. So I don't think his defense is that big of a problem. Matter of fact, the guy he fought from over there in Spain, I don't remember his last name, but that guy was a hell of a puncher too. Never could lay a glove on Boots. Couldn't put a glove on Boots, but he was known as a puncher. A knockout guy that most people had avoided. A lot of these guys in the welterweight division had turned that Steonis or whatever his name was. A lot of these guys over here turned that guy down. They didn't really want to fight him because he was too big of a risk, but not enough of a name. Boots took him to school. He could not lay a glove on Boots because he was at that. Boots had him senses heightened because that was another level for Boots. So I think when it comes time for Boots to do what he needs to do, he can pick the defense up.
Robert Garcia also gives Errol Spence tremendous credit for everything he has accomplished in the sport. He knows Spence is much more than a fighter who simply walks forward. At his peak, Errol overwhelms opponents with physical strength, relentless body attacks, discipline, and non-stop pressure. Because of that, Robert refuses to believe Boots would automatically dominate him simply because of the Crawford loss. At the same time, he understands where Jaron Boots Ennis is in his career. Boots is younger, more active, sharper, and filled with confidence. His speed, punch selection, switch hitting ability, and movement could force Spence to earn every second inside the ring. If Ennis remains disciplined and avoids making careless mistakes, Robert believes he has the ability to take control of the fight. His opinion is not that Spence is finished, but that Boots could be facing him at exactly the right moment. If Errol is still near his peak, the matchup becomes extremely difficult. But if he has slowed down even slightly, Boots has the style to expose it.
The mental lapses. Boots said, I went to sleep. All I'm saying is whether you in the gym, you're going to get hit, stuff is going to happen. You're going to get hit in fights, stuff is going to happen. But you're not going to hit me because I fell asleep. That's the point that I'm making. You catch me in an exchange, you set me up, I don't see something coming, I thought you was out of range, but you was in range. That's...
Teddy Atlas offered a more balanced opinion regarding Jaron Boots Ennis and refused to get caught up in all the excitement surrounding him. In Teddy's eyes, there is no doubt that Boots is an exceptionally gifted fighter, but he believes the resume still needs stronger names before all the praise can be fully justified. Many fans already view him as one of boxing's future superstars. Yet Teddy prefers to judge fighters by the quality of opposition they defeat. He wants to see Boots tested by someone capable of challenging his disciplined defense and ability to make adjustments when things become difficult.
And I looked at them and they said, "That's Virgil hits him like that, he ain't getting up." And I guarantee you guys, everybody, he ain't getting up. So yeah, that's the first thing that came to my mind. We also, have to know that Boots hits hard too. He showed it. Sayas showed a lot of heart those rounds. He came to fight. I thought it was going to be a fight where Sayas tries to take him to the later rounds because of his size. He was just a bigger man. I thought Sayas was going to take the fight into the later rounds, but Sayas came to fight. I also give respect to Sayas. I got to give him credit. I think he also showed a lot of heart and put up a great fight. But Boots is the one that I expected him to fight more, trying to get into a decision. But
That is exactly why Teddy is holding back from giving Boots complete approval just yet. He believes Ennis looks outstanding whenever he controls the action, but boxing at the highest level presents a completely different challenge. Raw talent alone is never enough against elite competition. A fighter also needs patience, composure, defensive awareness, and the ability to stay calm when facing someone who refuses to be intimidated. Teddy's message is simple. Boots certainly has the ability people talk about, but now he must prove it by defeating the elite opponents who can truly validate all the hype.
It off though with Boots in full control. Scored a big knockdown early in the fight, and maybe he lost a little concentration, and he gave a moment to Zayas in that third round, as you said, to have his moment and put Boots. Legs were wobbling, he was in big...
Bernie the Boxer also gave his honest opinion about Jaron Boots Ennis, explaining that natural talent alone is no longer enough. He believes Boots has the power, skill, and overall ability to become a truly special fighter. But now the time has come to prove it against elite competition. Dominating opponents you were expected to beat is one thing, but defeating experienced champions and battle-tested veterans is an entirely different challenge. Those are the fighters who can adapt, capitalize on mistakes, and force you into uncomfortable situations. That is why Bernie has not completely bought into the excitement yet. He sees the talent, but he wants proof against the very best. Boots needs opponents who can challenge his defense, patience, durability, and discipline when everything is not going according to plan. Bernie's message is clear. The potential is obvious, but the resume must now catch up. If Boots wants the respect many people are already giving him, he must beat elite fighters without leaving any room for doubt.
Became a star. There's no doubt about it. Tonight he verified being a star for me. Because going in, I'm not afraid to say, I say what I believe. As some people, they hate, they throw things at you. It's fine. That's what makes this thing what it is there's give and take. You have a chance to agree with me and disagree with me. But he never had that signature. You know, Ali needed Frazier and other guys. Boots, for all the talent, again, we proclaimed them this sure thing, surefire great fighter, without having that signature fight that confirmed it, that really, and this was that fight. Now, the kid was too young, but it don't matter.
That is it for today's video. Stay tuned for more fight analysis and all the latest updates from around the sport. Thanks for tuning in, and we will catch you again in the next one.